Steven Correño right here, KO Artist Sports. Right here with Robert Garcia. Man, thank you so mumuch, man. I always appreciate you letting me in the gym. Saw Virgil today, man. Looked like a monster as always, man. He's such a phenom. When you get a young guy like that as a trainer, do you kind of get excited when you get him in the gym and you start being like, yeah, this kid's gonna go somewhere and I'm gonna be part of the journey?
Well, look, definitely a big plus to have somebody like Virgil in the gym, because not only for himself, the way he works out, the strength, the dedication, mentally, physically, everything that he brings in, the rest of my fighters are also seeing, and you could see guys that are world champions, former world champions, and they see somebody like Virgil, and a kid like that motivates them too, because even though they've done it or accomplished so much, it's still a lot of motivation to see somebody young and hungry like Virgil doing what he's doing. So it's definitely a plus to have him in the gym.
August 14th, man, Aegis Mean Machine. I feel like this is kind of like the perfect opponent at this point in Virgil's career, like a top guy, only one loss, only lost to the top guy in the division. Is this kind of the right step for you right now, the right time, right guy?
Well, it is a perfect fight. It is the right fight for Virgil. Honestly, me personally would have loved maybe other names, other opponents, and the only reason is because I know Aegis very well. He's a good friend of mine. I used to train him. Marcos Contreras used to be my assistant with him and many other fighters. So it sucks that we have to go against each other, but it is a business and it is a sport. We had a good talk before we even agreed to the fight, and both teams decided that it's the right fight for the fans, for TV, and for boxing. So I think it is a perfect fight for Virgil. It is a real test. Mean Machine, had some really good rounds with Terence Crawford. Even though they didn't count it as a knockdown, I do believe it should have been a knockdown. But Virgil's ready. He'll be ready to go out and perform and give the fans a great fight.
When obviously on a personal level you don't like it, right? Because you know him and you used to train him and stuff. But on a professional level, from the fight perspective, is it kind of an advantage for you, kind of having trained the guy before, maybe knowing quirks, knowing tendencies, things like that, and bringing that into training camp with Ortiz?
Well, look, a lot of times everybody, and we could always think that it is an advantage because I used to train with him, but I'm not gonna see it like that, because it could also be an advantage for him. Not because he knows Virgil, because he's never been around Virgil in the gym, but because he wants to go out and beat his former trainer, who in my case, being known as a great trainer and doing what we've accomplished, for him is a lot more motivation, and is also for Marcos. So I think it's depending on how you want to see it, but I'm seeing it as, for them, I think it's a bigger opportunity for them, because they're definitely going to be the underdogs and they want to prove everybody wrong. And look, and like I said, I love them. They're my friends. Before, after, during the fight, obviously it's a sport, and the best has to win. But it is going to be one of those fights that's very competitive, and it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Once I saw it, I was like, this is perfect. He's at home, too, which is a big motivation. Obviously, Crawford stopped Mean Machine in 9. Virgil's only been 7 rounds, I want to say the most. As a trainer, I know it doesn't matter to you, right? Like, just the W is most important. But do you feel does it do anything for Virgil to maybe get Mean Machine out of there sooner than Crawford? Does that do anything for you or for him in career-wise?
Well, that's what everybody's going to be looking for, and everybody's going to be grading Virgil on that. See if he could do it before Crawford, but not for us. Crawford's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, and he's got. He's a 3-division champion. He's got so much experience. The difference is Crawford did it already as a world champion, already a three-time world champion. Virgil's doing it on his 18th professional fight. Never fought for a world title yet. Still not a world champion. So the experience level is totally different. It's just a different level. Can Virgil do it before? Definitely. Do I think he is going to do it? I do believe so. I do believe he's going to do it before Crawford did. But I also don't want to say it's a sure thing because like I said, Crawford does have more experience. He's been in it many more times, multiple divisions, like I told you. So that's not what we're looking for. We want Virgil to have a great performance. He's had a great training camp. His father pushes him to the fullest, does a great job with him, and I think this is probably one of his his best training camps so far. Great sparring partners. He's been looking very good in sparring. So I think he could really do it before the ninth round. Would that make him look better, or would that be for the boxing world like this kid did it before Crawford? We really don't care. I think the kid, little by little, the kid's going to be ready for any world champion, and I think he could beat any world champion. Does he do it earlier, faster, better than Crawford? I don't know, but I know he'll be ready.
Right. But with being his trainer, he's only gone 7 rounds to this point. Would you like him to go more rounds, just to go more rounds, to kind of get that experience under his feet and have that confidence, obviously, when you do start going for the champions and unifications, things like that?
Well, it's always good to get rounds, and a lot of times, talking to the promoters, talking to the managers and everything, they always prefer a fighter to go rounds, obviously for experience and everything. But I don't know if every other gym or every other trainer, but we see it this way. If you get a chance in the first round, you're going to knock the fuck out of them in the first round. You're not going to wait because you need more rounds to get experience. The experience in the gym, training, learning every day, listening to your dad like Virgil does, getting pointers from me, from Hector, Mikey, Jose Ramirez, I think that's a lot of experience already that you could catch in the gym, and not necessarily have to be because you're getting rounds in a fight. I think there's been cases where you want to give a few rounds and the fight ends up ugly where you didn't want to. I think that's I'm gonna bring it up because I think this was the case when Crawford fought Amir Khan. Crawford hurt Amir Khan in the first round. I think he could have finished him, but he wanted to go rounds, and then it ended in a way that Crawford didn't want to, by low blow. He couldn't, or whatever it was. It was exactly. So I know Crawford didn't want to end the fight like that. I know Crawford wanted to knock him out cold, and he would have, but it just ended the way it did. So if the way we say it to every fighter, even though they tell us we need rounds. If you hurt him in the first round, knock him out in the first round. Yeah. Get it over with. You don't get paid overtime. Yep. Exactly.
Exactly. Speaking of Crawford, I know last time we spoke, you said you wanted Virgil to get at least 2 fights more. More recently, I've heard Virgil kind of on Twitter saying, like, look, it's Mean Machine, and then it's going to be Crawford. Are you kind of on board with that now, or are you still maybe one more fight and then Crawford? How do you feel about it?
I think Virgil's ready. After this fight, everything goes well, he performs well. I think he's ready. Are we in a rush? No. He's young. There's no rush for him to already step it up. Because once you step up, to a world champion like Crawford, then you can't go back down to easier fights and maybe take care of your. You're gonna have to. Everybody's gonna expect you to fight those type of fights from now on. So we're not in a rush. Do I think he's ready? I think he's ready. And I think if Golden Boy and Top Rank or whoever it is by then work something out to where it's a huge fight and it's available and the business is right, then yeah, I think he's ready. Do I think he could beat him? I think he could beat him, but there's also no rush. We also got time. We could wait another fight, 2 more fights if we have to. We're going the right direction with him. The kid is focused and ready to fight for a world champion now, fight for the world title now. But if it takes 2 or 3 more fights, it doesn't hurt him either.
Right. No, definitely. He's a young.